It goes by Friday, James, or I do.
The truck was a 1972 Chevy K10, turquoise paint fading, the only thing James had from his father.
Dad died when I was 14. This truck is all I have left of him.
My sister's reunion is this Saturday. I won't have you pulling up in that eyesore again.
The calendar on the fridge had Friday circled in red. 4 days until the reunion. Linda had been humiliated at countless parties, begging James to sell the truck, but James couldn't. The truck held 30 years of silent grief, a memory of the man who taught him to drive.
One last inspection. I'll take it to Dave, let him look it over. Then, maybe I'll sell it.
He told Linda he'd take the truck to the shop. She assumed that meant surrender. He pulled into Dave's auto, a place his father once trusted decades ago.
Now that's a real truck. They don't build them like this anymore.
My dad bought her new in '72. Only thing I have left from him.
I remember your dad. He was a good man. So why the inspection? Something wrong?
Because Linda gave me a deadline. The truck by Friday, or she leaves. Just a routine check. Dave might be selling it soon.
Across town, Linda was already dialing a realtor, planning a future without the truck.
Yes, the house too. Once my husband gets rid of that old truck, we'll downsize.
Back in the garage, Dave's hand paused. His flashlight caught a metallic shape hidden in the engine block.
James, come here. There's a cylinder in your engine. Looks like it was sealed in place years ago.
James stared at the rusted steel tube, its surface welded into the block. A secret his father had buried deep. Dave pried open the cylinder. Inside, an oil-stained cloth was wrapped around something heavy.
That's no engine part. Those are gold coins. James, American Eagles.
Gold. Why would my father hide gold in his truck?
For my son, when he needs it. Dad, 1981.
After all these years, he still found a way to look after me.
Beneath the cloth, a small brass key was attached to the note with a string.
That key opens something. Maybe a safety deposit box your dad never told you about.
I need to find out what's in that box, but Linda can't know.
Your wife won't be happy if she finds out you are holding on to more secrets.
James pocketed the key and coins. The weight of his father's legacy suddenly heavier than any ultimatum.
So, is the truck finally listed for sale?
Dave says it could use a carburetor adjustment. Another day or two and it'll be ready to show.
Good, because I've already spoken to a realtor about the house. We can downsize to something smaller.
She's been house hunting while I was out, moving on without me.
Later that evening, James slipped upstairs and packed a duffel bag, tucking the gold coins and key beneath his clothes.
I am going to visit an old friend in Cleveland for a couple of days. Linda, Mike's not been well.
Cleveland, you'll be back by Friday, right? The reunion is Saturday.
I'll be back before you know it.
The next morning, he climbed into the truck, the safety deposit key heavy in his pocket. The engine rumbled to life, carrying him eastward, a secret 30 years in the making. The miles passed in silence, the truck humming a tune from 1972.
Dad's note said, when he needs it. Was this what he meant? When my own wife wants me to sell his truck?
He remembered his father's stories about Cleveland, a place they'd visited when he was a boy. An envelope among his father's things had mentioned a security box at First Federal. The key matched that memory. He parked a block away and walked toward the building, the key clenched in his fist.
I am 67 years old, sneaking around like a thief, following clues from a dead man.
Inside, the marble floors and brass tellers felt like stepping into another era. An older teller looked up, her eyes curious, as James approached the counter.
I believe my father kept a safety deposit box here. His name was Thomas Reeves.
Minutes later, the door clicked shut. James stared at the metal box on the table, the name Reeves stamped on the lid. James didn't move. The box on the table felt like a door he wasn't sure he should open. His phone buzzed, breaking the silence. The screen lit up with a message from Linda. Any offers on the truck? Not long now.
Still pushing. She has no idea what I've found.
He deleted the message and placed the phone face down on the table, the screen dark.
If she knew about the coins, she'd demand those too. Nothing is ever enough.
He set the phone aside and picked up the key, its brass warm from his pocket.
Dad said when he needs it. This is when. I need to know.
James drew a long breath and reached toward the box. His fingers brushing the cold metal, the key hovered over the lock. A 30-year question, waiting for its answer. That same afternoon, Linda walked through the house, a realtor at her side, already discussing paint colors and staging.
We'll stage it next week. My husband has agreed to sell. He just needs a little push now and then. He can be sentimental, but he'll come around. The truck will be gone before the reunion.
In Cleveland, James's fingers tightened around the key. His father's voice echoed from the note. When he needs it.
Linda's already selling the life we built. She never asked me. She just decided.
And this kitchen will photograph beautifully with fresh flowers. Once the house sells, we'll find a condo downtown.
Outside, the afternoon sun caught the empty driveway where the truck usually sat, a quiet absence she no longer noticed.
She said I could sell it or she'd leave. Well, maybe I don't need to sell it to leave.
He inserted the key into the lock, the mechanism clicking open with a sound that felt like decades falling away. The lid cracked open a fraction of an inch, the stale air of a past life escaping into the room. He pushed the lid fully open. Stale air gave way to the sight of yellowed papers and manila envelopes. The top documents bore official government stamps, military back pay records dating to 1987.
Back pay? Dad never mentioned missing wages. This goes back decades.
Beneath the pay records lay 3 bearer bonds, each folded neatly, denominations that dwarfed his retirement account.
Bearer bonds. Unregistered, cashable by anyone who holds them. Dad made sure I could walk away.
Tucked against the side was a thick envelope, the paper cream-colored with age, his name written in his father's unmistakable hand.
A letter. From my father. 50 years of silence. And he left me a letter.
The box lay open, a quiet fortune of back pay, bonds, and a message from the past that waited on the table.
Linda was embarrassed by a truck that held more wealth than every house she's ever wanted.
He lifted the envelope, the box's secrets now exposed, but the hardest part, the words inside, still unread. He broke the seal and unfolded the yellowed pages, his father's handwriting steady and deliberate. James, if you are holding this, I am long gone. I built that truck with my hands, and I left it for you.
He built it for me, not for anyone else.
Inside the engine, I hid a lifetime of back pay and bonds, but the real treasure is the man who knows what he needs.
What I need. A wife who respects me.
You'll know who truly cares for you when the time comes. A person who values the object values the person. Remember that?
Linda never valued the truck, never valued me.
The letter ended with a simple line, and James's composure finally broke. I love you, son. Keep the truck. Dad.
Keep the truck. But what do I do about Linda?
James wiped his eyes and carefully laid the letter aside. The box's contents spread before him, a fortune he never expected. He did the math. 28 gold coins, 3 bearer bonds, and decades of military back pay. Altogether, nearly $2 million.
My father left me a way out. Linda never saw me, only what she could sell. She gave me an ultimatum. Now I'll give her one she never expected.
He packed everything back into the box and returned to the hotel, the key to a new life in his pocket. In his room, he spread the coins and bonds on the nightstand, the numbers now hard and real.
She'll take everything, if I don't act. I need a lawyer.
He found a divorce attorney online and dialed, his voice steady when the receptionist answered.
I need to file for divorce and sell my house. How soon can we start?
The appointment was set for the next morning. James hung up and sat in the silence, the the weight of his decision settling. James sat across from a seasoned divorce attorney, his father's letter folded in his shirt pocket. The process was clear. File a petition, secure separate assets, list the house as a sole asset. From the lawyer's office, he returned to First Federal to finalize a trust. He deposited the bonds in coins, naming himself trustee, the assets now protected. The trust meant Linda could never touch what his father left him. James walked out of the bank, the briefcase light, but his purpose heavy. His phone screen lit up with an incoming call from Linda. James pressed the silence button, the call vanishing into a void she'd never understand.
He looked at his reflection and saw his father's handwriting instead of his own face.
Outside, the turquoise truck sat under the streetlight, waiting. It was no longer for sale. Linda, alone in the house, felt the silence of the empty driveway pressing in.
Dave, it's Linda Reeves. Is my husband's truck still there? He said you were working on it.
Still in the shop, ma'am. Needs a little more time, but it'll be ready soon.
Good. He'd better not be dragging his feet. The reunion is Saturday.
Dave hung up and stared at the empty cylinder shell, the secret he'd promised to keep. In the hotel, James sat on the edge of the bed, an old photograph in his hands.
Dad, you knew people would only see the rust, not the road.
He studied the photo of his father beside the truck, the same truck parked outside his window.
Tomorrow I'll call her. Tell her the truck is sold, and so is she.
He set the photo on the nightstand and lay back, the ceiling above him a blank page waiting for the words he'd write. Early the next morning, James sat at the hotel desk with a notepad, writing the words he would say.
Truck sold. House sold. Divorce filed. And then the truth. Linda, I've sold the truck.
He practiced the lines until they felt less like betrayal and more like long overdue justice. 300 miles away. Linda hummed as she packed for the reunion, a floral dress laid across the bed.
This weekend will be perfect. No one will be talking about that old truck.
She zipped her suitcase and smiled at the future she'd already decided should be hers.
And I am keeping the truck.
He set the phone on the nightstand, its dark screen waiting for the call. In separate worlds, man and wife prepared for the same morning. Only one knew it was their last. The law office smelled of leather and old paper. James sat across the desk, a stack of documents between them. He read every line slowly. His father's letter, a quiet presence in his pocket.
I am about to torch my own life, and I've never felt more certain.
He signed the last page, the pen pressing harder than he meant to.
And the house, I want it listed today.
The attorney assured him the petition would be filed before noon. James went straight to the bank and deposited the bearer bonds into the trust. The trust was now complete, protected, separate, out of Linda's reach forever. He called the realtor from the hotel and confirmed the listing. The house would be on the market within the hour. The office door closed behind him. Somewhere, his father's truck was waiting. James returned to the bank and opened a safe deposit box registered only to himself.
The coins and the key from the engine need to disappear, where Linda will never look.
He placed the gold coins and the old key inside, then closed the box with a firm click. He walked into a phone store and bought a new smartphone with a separate, untraceable number. He transferred his contacts and shut down the old device, its screen fading to black. Back home, Linda's patience finally snapped. She called Dave's auto once more, her voice tight.
Dave, I want the truth. Is that truck finally sold or not?
Almost ready, ma'am. James asked for one more polish. It should be done today.
She hung up, her trust fraying at the edges like an old rope. In the hotel, James saw her name flash on the old phone and silenced it without a thought. In the master bedroom, Linda folded her floral dress into a suitcase, humming a tune she'd heard at a garden party.
Sandra? Yes, I am almost packed. The reunion is at noon, right? And the truck will be gone by then. James finally agreed. We're putting the house on the market next week.
She hung up and zipped the suitcase, her reflection in the window showing a woman who believed she'd already won. 300 miles away, James sat at the hotel desk, a single sheet of paper in front of him.
Say it slow. Truck first, then the house, then the divorce, and then the divorce, and then the reason.
He unfolded the old photograph. A young boy and a tall man beside a turquoise truck, both grinning.
You'd be proud, Dad. I am finally listening.
He set the photo beside the notepad, then placed the new phone on top, its screen dark and ready. In the silence of the room, James stared at the phone, the weight of 30 years, and tomorrow, pressing down. James woke to the gray light of early morning, the city still silent outside his window. He reached into his bag and pulled out the old safe deposit key and a single gold coin.
This is what Dad left me, and this is what Linda never deserved.
He set the coin and key on the nightstand, then picked up the new phone. His thumb paused over the dial pad, then tapped out the number he'd memorized for decades. The line clicked open, and a distant ring began to pulse. In Linda's living room, her phone lit up on the coffee table. James calling. James listened to the ring, his heartbeat slow and steady.
1 ring. 2. She'll pick up any second.
The ringing continued, unanswered yet, the space between them measured in electronic beeps.
James, I was about to leave for the reunion. Everything's ready.
Linda, I wanted to tell you first. The truck is sold.
Finally. I've waited 2 years for this. You made the right choice. I am so relieved. The reunion will be perfect.
I am glad you are pleased. That was always important, wasn't it? But there's more.
He paused, and in the silence, Linda could almost hear the ground shifting.
I signed the papers yesterday. The house is on the market. As of this morning, we're moving on.
For a moment, the line was dead. Then her voice came back, tight and dangerous.
You sold our house without even discussing it with me? Are you out of your mind? This is betrayal.
It's done, Linda. The house is listed. The truck is sold. There's nothing left to discuss. There's one more thing, Linda. I filed for divorce yesterday. The petition is already with the court.
Divorce? You think you can just walk away after 30 years? You are out of your mind, James.
You wanted change, Linda. Now you have it. When Dave opened the engine, he found a sealed cylinder. Inside were 28 gold coins and a note from my father.
Gold? In that piece of junk? You are lying.
There was also a key to a safety deposit box in Cleveland. I drove there. The box held military back pay, bearer bonds, and a letter. Total value, nearly $2 million. But the letter said, "You'll know who truly cares when the time comes."
Linda's breathing stopped. The silence on the line was absolute.
You wanted me to sell the truck to save face. Instead, you lost everything.
She didn't speak. There was nothing left to say.
My father wrote, "You'll know who truly cares when the time comes." The time came, Linda. You never cared about me, only the image. So I am keeping the truck, and the gold, and the bonds. You get nothing.
A choked sob broke through the receiver, raw and unfinished.
Thank you. Your ultimatum forced me to look inside that engine and finally see the truth.
He pressed the red button, and the line went dead. The silence in the hotel room was immediate and vast.
It's done, Dad. I heard you. Every word.
He folded the letter and slipped it back into his shirt pocket, the paper warm against his chest. Outside, the turquoise truck sat under the morning light. No longer for sale. Never for sale again. He picked up his duffel and the single gold coin, then walked out, the door clicking shut behind him. The phone lay silent on the nightstand. The last call ended, a lifetime closed. The final divorce decree lay on the lawyer's desk, the last page waiting, the end of 30 years that felt like a transaction. James signed without pause, the pen firm, the ink dark and permanent.
No more selling pieces of myself for someone else's comfort or approval.
The attorney stamped the document and offered a final nod. It was over. Outside, The sun gleamed off the turquoise hood of his truck, polished and waiting at Dave's.
She's all waxed. Your dad would be proud to see her like this.
Thanks, Dave, for the truck and the secret. I won't forget.
They shook hands, a silent understanding between men who valued what lasted. James climbed into the cab, the scent of oil and old memories filling the space. He turned the key, and the engine rumbled, a promise that some things were built to last. He pulled away from the shop, the rearview mirror, holding the last reflection of Dave's waving hand, and then only open road.
No destination, no ultimatum. Just the road.
By late afternoon, he pulled over at a scenic overlook, the valley stretching below like a promise. He stepped out and unfolded the old photograph, the faded image of his father and the boy he used to be.
You were right, Dad. The people who value the object value the person. I finally understand.
He tucked the photo back into his pocket, then placed the letter beside it, the two items resting against his heart. The turquoise paint caught the dying sun. As he climbed back in and turned the key, the engine growled to life, a sound that had carried his father once and now carried him into whatever came next. His hand found the open window, the wind rushing through his fingers, and the 1972 Chevy K10, turquoise, worn and utterly his, disappeared over the next hill, a secret finally at peace.